Hey everyone, Dr. Frankie here. Today I'm going to be talking about tips for dating a single parent with kids. Dating is hard, but it can be whatever the two of you make it. Unless, of course, one or both of you have kids prior to the relationship. In that case, there are at least a few other people whose experiences you need to take into account, as well as a lot of other factors. Dating for single parents and dating single parents for people without families can be complicated. Many are worried it's a deal breaker, and sometimes it is. On the other hand, especially for those of us who are gay or queer, dating parents offers a way to have a family and children when we're often shut out of the ways straight people build theirs. Dating someone with kids isn't at all difficult or a red flag. It's a normal and healthy practice and very common in an era where we celebrate various family configurations. It just takes a little extra thoughtfulness. Here are my tips for what to keep in mind when dating a single parent. Examine where you're coming from. Every relationship is a two-way street. That doesn't change when it comes to kids. Even if only your partner came into the relationship with children, you're bringing some of your own baggage too, and it can cause problems if you don't acknowledge it. You may not have your own kids, but you certainly have thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and previous experiences related to children and family. At least most of us do. Did you ever want children of your own, but couldn't have them? Did you decide you definitely didn't? How might that impact the way you show up in your partner's family and your decision to be a parent? What were your own experiences with childhood? And what were the values about parenting in your house? What buttons might it press to watch your date parent their kids? It's not your job to totally resolve all of these open questions before you enter into this relationship, but being actively aware of them and being able to explain them to your partner can help make sure they don't turn into resentments or fights out of nowhere. Follow the family's lead. Bring your own boundaries. Hopefully you're dating someone who has already come to the table with their own ideas about how they want their dating life to work relative to their family life. Ideas about when a date should meet their kids, for example. How involved they want you to be in their children's lives. Signs of a healthy, thoughtful person showing up with intentionality. If someone is helpfully providing you with these cues, it's in the best interest of your relationship to follow them. Even if it seems crazy that you've been dating for 9 months and she hasn't told her kids about you, or that you aren't allowed to discipline them even when they interrupt your work calls, the long-term trust that's built by respecting their family dynamics is well worth it. Parenting is hard, and your partner needs to know that you're on the same team. At the same time, it's not that you have no say in your shared life. It's important for you to think carefully about what your own boundaries, triggers, and limitations are around kids and parenting, and for your partner to respect those as well. Maybe feeling left out during family holidays is a big emotional trigger for you, and so you want to make sure you're a part of important holiday celebrations. Maybe you aren't comfortable being in charge of driving the kids to and from school if you aren't going to get parenting privileges. The kids will have to come first for your partner, but that doesn't mean you aren't allowed your own boundaries. Of course, this can and will change over time. The relationship you have with your partner's kids after 10 years is very different than it will be after 6 months. Make sure that you and your partner are both ready to speak up and check in about how this aspect of your relationship is going as time progresses. You can name that you feel like, for instance, the degree to which you've been helping her daughter with college applications feels like a parenting role to you, and you'd like to revisit your shared understanding of how you fit into the kids' lives. Understand what's best for the kids might not be best for your relationship. It's easy to tell yourself that obviously the kids will always come first, but it may be harder to put that into practice when things are hard. The reality is that kids need a lot of attention, time, focus, and prioritization to thrive, and so do relationships. There are times when the needs of the family and the needs of the relationship will conflict. You aren't ready to move in together yet, but it's too hard on the kids to have their parents sleeping somewhere else twice a week. Or date night needs to get rescheduled once again because one kiddo has a math test in the morning and needs help studying. It's possible that while it would be best for your relationship to be able to cut off contact with the other birth parent, but it's best for the kids to keep visitation with their other parent they love. Knowing this won't make it somehow easier when those conflicts of needs come up. It's natural to want to be the first priority of the person we love. But talking about them ahead of time and managing our own expectations can make a big difference in difficult moments and help everyone remember that you're all on the same team. You aren't in competition with your partner's kids. Pursue relationships with kids as separate people. It's normal, especially at the beginning of your relationship, to think about interacting with the kids in terms of how it impacts your relationship with their parent. You might be thrilled that the two of you played Mario Kart together for a full hour because of how it'll demonstrate what a good fit you are for the family, and that's fine. As time progresses, though, it's important that you understand that the kids are their own people with their own inner lives and personalities, and that you demonstrate this in how you show up with them. Kids might also have their own feelings about you, positive or negative, and based mostly on their fears and worries about getting their needs met by their parents. It's important to be able to take that in without taking it personally. Being a parent's partner is a unique relationship, and it's less formal and authoritative than their parent or teacher, but more responsibility than being a friend or a peer. You're tasked with showing up in their lives during a delicate and formative time, as well as modeling important concepts about relationships in your partnership with their parent. Your most important job, though, might be that of being a trusted adult who can witness their development and personalhood, as messy as it is, and accept it unconditionally. Because while your relationship with their parent may not last forever, the impact you leave on their lives will. And it's important to be thoughtful about it. I hope you found this to be helpful. There is a link I want to share with you. It's actually too long, so you might have to just go onto my website, littlegaybook.com, and look up this blog, and you'll be able to learn more about it. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all got something really helpful out of what I had to share today. Big hugs, and I'll see you again soon.